So he tried to assassinate Trump. That didn't work. He's found guilty on all charges. Then he tries to assassinate himself. That didn't work. How are you good people doing, my American informed brothers and sisters? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, which I'm greatly appreciative of. Make sure you guys are following me up here. Follow me down here. Click this. It helps me. Thank you very much. If and when you do subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification that will bring on the drop box for you to select all notifications. Do not forget to check out my other channel called Man, Husband, Father. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get ready to get into this story, y'all. The man who tried to assassinate President Trump, Ryan Roth, has been found guilty on all counts. And some dramatic stuff took place afterwards. When they found him guilty, y'all heard what I said in the beginning. I said he tried to assassinate Trump. That didn't work. I said he's found guilty on all charges. Then he tried to assassinate himself. Did this man just try to, you know what? Y'all watch this.
And we do have the breaking news just coming in. The man accused of trying to assassinate President Donald Trump is found guilty on all 5 counts.
And those jurors deliberated for about 3 hours today in Fort Pierce before delivering the verdict. Local 10's Christina Vasquez is live outside of the courthouse in Fort Pierce with all of the late breaking details. Christina, fill us in.
And dramatic events unfolding as I was here on this sidewalk outside the courthouse to join you live. An Associated Press reporter was still inside. This is after what I heard, which is the jury returning the determination. And what they are reporting happened next is that Ryan Ruth then grabbed a pen, tried to stab himself in the neck. The marshals rush in and had to be dragged out of the courtroom. They also report that his adult daughter, who you might remember, Sarah, she was in our news report from yesterday, that she was screaming out about her love and affection for her father. You might remember that she's described her father as her best friend. So here is what the jury determined. Take a look. Guilty on all 5 counts. Now, you might remember it's that first one that is the most significant. So they did find him guilty of attempting to kill Donald Trump when he was a presidential candidate last year.
Keep walking!
A 12-person jury found Ryan Ruth guilty of trying to assassinate Donald Trump at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course last year. They also found him guilty on 4 additional related charges.
All units be advised.
During closing arguments, federal prosecutors walking the jury through the mountain of evidence in this case. 38 government witnesses, more than 100 exhibits, which they say shows Ruth intended to kill Trump and took substantial steps toward committing that crime by meticulously and obsessively tracking Trump before lying in wait. A loaded rifle with a bullet in the chamber and the safety off, and a sniper hide he created 126 feet from the hole Trump was set to play next. Make no mistake, the federal prosecutor said, Ryan Ruth wanted Donald Trump dead and was 1 bullet away.
Individual in the bush with a gun.
Ending on a theme about political violence that voters get to decide. Not one man with some weird agenda and a gun, he said, adding he wanted to silence the voice of his fellow Americans. Nobody gets to decide an election that way. Ruth, who is acting as his own attorney, referred to himself in the third person as he shared his interpretation of intent with the jury, telling them the evidence shows he had a clear shot and did not take it. It was golden. It was so easy, he told them. He could have completed the job, 100%, just pulled the trigger, but no intent. The individual could not pull the trigger. It is not in the defendant's heart. The federal judge did have to navigate him back toward making relevant remarks after he drifted off into a speech about the character of the nation and a mention of January 6th. It appears his goal was to present a view of himself to the jury that he is peaceful and nonviolent. It is hard for me to see that a crime occurred, he said, if the trigger was never pulled. And it would appear this jury not buying his interpretation of that word intent, instead siding with prosecutors, believing that they did prove their case, finding him guilty on all 5 counts. So what you're looking at live is what I can see from where I'm joining you live. So we talked about what the Associated Press reporter inside the courtroom saw, right? That Ryan Ruth then grabs a pen, tries to stab himself, and an emotional reaction from his daughter, Sarah. So you are looking at Sarah in the white dress, and she's standing next to Adam, which is her brother. They've been here, she says, from Hawaii every single day of the trial. And they're waiting at this guard gate, presumably maybe to see the transport van for their father. Again, Sarah describing her father as her best friend and clearly exhibiting some emotion in the courtroom as this outcome did not come to what she had hoped for her father. And something she spoke about yesterday is obviously facing the fact that her father is now going to be facing a possible sentence of life in prison. Back to you.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. Now, some other stuff popped off afterwards. Y'all heard what they said about the daughter, how her dad is her best friend, everything like that. Now, let me keep something 100% real with y'all guys, because I want to show y'all something before I make this statement about the daughter, because I know the immediate thing is, well, your father is, I know, but I want y'all to pay attention to this, right? Because this is what happened immediately after the verdict was handed. Check this out.
We're told this is playback of just a few moments ago, Ruth's daughter. Okay.
It was there, just now.
Not only crying as she left, obviously she went into a full sprint to get away from the media and yelled out some profanities, John.
As if they really matter. Come on, who cares about that? Anyway, so the reason why I say that, guys, is this. People have a hard time understanding this. I know that the person that we know this man to be, which is a crazy lunatic, psycho, would-be murderer of Trump and of himself. Y'all heard what he tried to do with the pen. Tried to take the pen, right? But I know your immediate response to the daughter saying that was her father. She loved him. He was her best friend. That's because that's who this man was to her ever since she was a child. That's all she knows, which is why I have some sympathy and empathy towards her. I'm not going to go and be like, that's what, yeah, why? Yeah, you knew your dad was crazy. Yeah, your dad is, I wouldn't say that to her in regards to how she's reacting to this, because in her eyes, all he's been is a good man to her, a good father to her, right? That's why she's reacting like that. She's reacting because that's not the man that she knows. So I get and I understand there. Yet at the same time, you have to understand from her reacting like that, she needs to understand that the enemy that got your father to be psychologically psyops to carry out this radicalization like he did, that's the real enemy. That is the reason why you do not have your father. That is the reason why you stormed off crying like that, because whoever designed this so evil and geniusly, they radicalized your father to carry out the act that he did. He was getting ready to take out a president. Be pissed at them that did this. Although your father did allow that, he allowed those words, he allowed that movement, he allowed that spirit to move and whisper in his ear. He contemplated what the spirit was saying to him. He went back and forth what that spirit was saying to him in his mind. And guess what he did? He watered the seeds of what that spirit was feeding him. He watered those seeds that the spirit was putting in his brain. And after that, guess what? He agreed with it and he acted upon it. Blame the media for doing that. Your father, unfortunately, did not have the strong mind and will to just the minute that stuff came in, he said, forget that, I'm not doing that. He acted upon those thoughts. Anyway, y'all, with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think about this right here. That was crazy. He tried to take himself out, man. That's crazy. Leave it in the comments below after this video. Not forgetting to do what you see in the elements right here. They will greatly help my channel. The next video that I may be doing after this tonight is going to be up there. Things I did as of yesterday right here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, click that. I am Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing, and most of all, praying every last one of you guys in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all in Jesus.